Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted as always to be joined by Owen. We have just seen Moses Atauma starch Dillian White inside 2 minutes in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia tonight. Owen, good to be joined by you. Not a late finish tonight. So that's something to be positive about. The fight was well over before 11 p.m. First round stoppage for Moses Atauma. I think the expectation from a lot of people was inside 3 or 4 rounds. I'm not sure too many people predicted inside 2 minutes. Not much to analyze, but give us your instant reaction to that one, please.
Shite. Yeah, in all honesty, like what has Moses Atalma gained from that? What has Moses Atalma learned from that? I fully expected, as you said, I sort of said, round three, round four, um, if Dylan White, he'd come in shape, was he actually interested? Was he actually going to try and drag him into deep waters and not derail the train, but put a little bit of a halt to it? There were questions. Moses Atalma's never been punched in a professional ring, really. We've barely seen anyone land a shot, and everyone knows that Dylan White packs a punch. So it would have been, I thought White would go for it the first couple of rounds, and then Atalma would get to him. So that, yeah, mental. It's weird because you should be looking at that like, wow, Moses Atalma has just knocked Dylan White out in one round, but you can't because from the ring walk. When he was taking extra time in the dressing room, I thought, okay, maybe he's using his experience. He's going to try and old man him a little bit. And then I said it in the group chat. It might sound stupid, but when he didn't do his wolf howl, I was like, he doesn't want to be there. He's just there to get a paycheck. And unfortunately for Moses Atalma, it looked great on his record, but on paper it's great, but on the basis of it, not a great night's work in a weird sort of way.
Yeah, and some people might laugh, but I actually think you've got a good point about the wolf howl. Like that's his thing. That's what he does to get himself up for fights. It's we've gotten used to seeing it over the years, and when he didn't do it again, some people might
Yeah.
laugh. But he's not done it. You're like, okay, is he going to do it?
Yeah.
When you combine that with the fact he's been very respectful during this whole fight week. At the weigh-in yesterday, didn't really want to get in Itauma's face or get super close to him or give him a little shove or anything. And it just felt like the best Dillian White could do was just delay his ring walk. And I
Mhm.
just don't. I'll ask you the question, Owen. Do you think Dillian White knew he was going to lose tonight? Knew that was going to happen? Do you think he was up for this fight?
Um, it's really weird because I just don't understand why he's got himself in the shape he has. Um, maybe has he done that so he does get more fights? As he thought, you know what? If I get in here and it's Alma from the first jab or two, if his jab is as sharp as it looks and as it appears, obviously I'm pretty certain they've never sparred before. Then it's all shit. Like this kid is serious. I might have underestimated. Because for me, if he's going to come in and keel over, why has he got into like a career best shape? There's a lot of things that don't add up here. So I think maybe he like you say, he knew he was going to get knocked out. He's got Itama at the wrong end of Dylan White's career. So, get yourself into shape. Then you can just say, oh, I just got caught. And he gets a few more paydays from it. I think like the Wolf Howl, and I don't think I've ever seen Dylan White ring walk where he's constantly, his head was just constantly doing that. He looked a bit lost. Like, how do I act? What do I do? So, very, very confusing for me because the shape he was in, you'd think, I tell you what, if he sticks it on Moses Atama early, we're going to see if Moses Atama is ready or not. He just did the complete opposite. As soon as the first jab landed, I
Mm.
think he threw two body shots, missed a jab to the head, and that the writing was on the wall from there. So
Yeah.
yeah, very very strange, mate.
Yeah. And as you said at the start of the video, we've not really learned anything tonight from a town and I do agree with that. And it's not his fault. And I actually remember doing on the preview show for this, um, saying that it would be great to see with a Tama with someone who's just more durable than White.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously this is the fourth time White's been stopped. It would be great to go see a Tama go in. I know the name Jermaine Franklin's been bandied about in the past, someone who's very durable and has never been stopped before. Someone like that would have been maybe a better opponent and wouldn't have would have lasted a bit longer. Couple more from me, Owen. On Dillian White, do you think do you think that's it? Because he's not kind of been knocked out unconscious tonight. It's been a short kind of visit to the ring. Do you think that's it now, or do you think he'll continue? So there's the Chisora trilogy, there's the Joe Joyce fight that never happened.
Mhm.
Not convinced he'll be invited to another Riyadh season card, but give us your thoughts.
Strangely, from myself, it's not a retirement shout. I think the Joe Joyce fight makes a lot of sense. I think you're spot on. I don't think we'll be seeing Dylan White landing in Saudi anytime soon after that. I just think I honestly do think he's got himself in that shape, knowing that maybe he gets a lucky punch from the gods if he doesn't get taken out in round one or two. Either way, he's in great shape. He can say, he just got caught cold by a superstar. So what? I think there's still, like you say, I think it was in one of the WhatsApp chats where it was mentioned there isn't that many sort of headline pay
Mm,
per view stars style in Britain anymore. And after I seen that message, I was thinking there isn't that many names that way you could put them on the top of pay per view card and it will sell. And Dylan White will, especially if it's a Joe Joyce, it's a Derek Chisora, like you said, because it's going to be entertaining fights. It's going to be back and forth. So there's still paydays for him. So I think 100% we'll be seeing Dylan White. I'm not sure in what capacity. It wouldn't surprise me at all if in his next fight we see him back up at 270 odd. If he
yeah.
puts another 20, 25, 30 pound back on and go from there. But yeah, I think we'll 100% see Dylan White in a boxing ring again.
Yeah, I think he possibly wouldn't want to go out like that. And I think it's a good time to be a heavyweight boxer, and there's still relevant fights for him. Final question from me to you, Owen. It's a big question. When Alexander Usyk defeated Daniel Dubois for the second time 4 weeks ago, within minutes, Turki Al-Sheikh tweeted that he wanted to see Usyk versus ITAUMA. And the reason why I'm asking you, I feel like when Turki Al-Sheikh kind of wants something, a lot of the time he gets it.
Yeah.
At the same time, Usyk now we're not sure how many fights he's got left, possibly one, possibly two. We don't like could be fighting Joseph Parker, but I'll reiterate my point is I just feel like if Turkey is saying no, Usyk would beat Parker, he'd beat Caballel, he might not beat Atalma. We could see Usyk versus Atalma next. That might sound crazy to some people, but we could. If we do, give us your thoughts. Could Atalma do it? He's not really been tested yet, as we know, but he's blasting everyone out with such ease. Obviously, he's Dillian White, Dempsey McKean, Mike Balogun, all within 2 rounds. What happens, Owen? Give us your reaction. That fight happens in say January, February time. What happens?
Just before I say what I think happened, from picking up on what you said there, I don't think some people might find it crazy, but it's not at all. I feel like, as you say, if Turkey says something, the amount of money he puts up, and he's almost got everyone in his back pocket in a sense. If he wants it to happen, it will happen. So if he calls for it, we will see that fight. And I think it's not career suicide, but I just think it's stupidity if Moses Atauma's team let him take that fight. You listen to the names you've just mentioned, the likes of Dempsey McKean and Mike Balogun, and then you look at the names Alexander Usyk's been beaten, AJ's, Fury's, even his cruiserweight run, your Gassiev's, etc., Bradis. Like these are top cruiserweights and heavyweights that have been around at the top for a long time. Um, if some people feel Italma is good enough now to put him in, he's never been punched. What's he going to do when Usyk's tying him up in knots and punching him from angles he's never seen before? Um, I think it's, unfortunately for me, I think to get that fight at the right time, Usyk will be long gone and sailed off into the sunset. If it happens now, I think Usyk stops him quickly. I really do. I think Italma has only got one style of fighting. I think sounds harsh because obviously unfortunately we haven't seen much. I think he wants to come out, establish his jab, and then unload some quick combinations. And unfortunately, I think that would just play straight into Usyk's hands. I think he'd old man him. I think he'd just be too clever and too good at this stage. So I really hope, from a Talma's point of view, we don't see that fight. Um, as much as a shame it'll be that I think we'll never get to see it, I just think it's stupidity.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. I just think the key thing is you want someone for Atalma who's going to take him past 2 rounds, and I think that's going to be difficult. But I think that's what's needed here, and who that
Yeah.
is, I don't know. We're not going to discuss it now. I hope to see him again in the ring soon because as we said, we've just not seen a lot tonight. So I hope to see him in the ring November, December time would be nice. Who against? We'll see. But look, clearly an impressive individual here and keen to see what he's going to do next. Owen, thank you for your time as always. Thank you for your opinions as always, and I will speak to you again very, very soon.
Pleasure as always, mate.